Hello, welcome to Christiana Pranayama. I teach newly signed artists and touring musicians how to get out of the head and into the body so that they can show up consistently on stage and put on legendary performances night after night after night. One of the best ways of getting out of your head and into the body is through yoga, so today's class is a minimal cues 40-minute class. This class is designed for intermediate students and yoga teachers who are already familiar with normal yoga alignment. I'll try and repeat just the names of the poses, but if we're doing something not quite yoga, I'll just explain to you where we're going. So, meet me on the mat in a comfortable seated position. Go ahead and close down the eyes and take a couple breaths to be centered. And then keeping your eyes closed or open, you're going to straighten the arms and inhale them up overhead and exhale, open them down like a butterfly. Inhale, open them up, hands overhead. Exhale, let them fall down. You can bring your chin into this movement as well, looking up at your hands, and then exhale, chin to chest. And flutter open the eyes, we'll take a twist to the right. And then a nice twist to the left. Inhale, right hand to the mat, left arm up to the ceiling. And switch sides. Left hand to the mat, right arm to the ceiling. Same thing, right hand to the mat, left arm up. And switch sides. Open your left leg out to the side. And we're going to twist the body so that the torso faces over the left leg and do a nice little bend over that straight leg. And open your torso out to the center. Inhale your right arm up overhead. We're doing a side bend to the left here. Placing your right hand behind you, go ahead and lift your hips up. Left arm comes up. We're doing a fallen wild thing. And we're coming back into a forward fold over the left leg. Just see how much further you can get comfortably. And we're going to switch it to the other side. So bring that left heel in and the right leg out. You can bring your blocks over if that helps you. And we're just going straight over that leg just to start. And then come up. You'll rotate your torso to the center. Bring that left arm up overhead. Really stretch out that left torso. Keeping the ears away from the shoulders. Inhale back up to center, and we'll try it again, facing over the right leg as we bend over it, seeing how much more space we have. Coming back up to center, opening both legs out straight, into a straddle. If you have a block here, it's a great time to inhale it straight overhead between your hands and use that to guide yourself down onto the floor. And keep those toes pointed up to the ceiling, actively pressing the heels out, pushing that block away from you. And finding some space. Inhale the block back up overhead, and you'll turn over to the right, and exhale, bring the block to the right foot. Come up overhead, bring the block to the left, back to center overhead, block to the right foot, and so on. Now using your hand, pull the knees up, bringing the heels together for a butterfly pose. I like to be nice and active here. It helps to keep the hips from becoming too crunchy after that straddle. And just play around with finding more space. If it's in your practice, you can forward fold here. And close your knees like a book. Bringing your left heel to the outside of your left hip and your right knee into your chest. And then go ahead and switch sides. Bringing that right ankle to your right hip, really opening up the front of that foot. Left knee in to your chest. And if it's okay for your ankles, we're going to do it with both feet, both ankles on either side of your hips, really opening up the tops of those ankles. You can inhale your chest up to the ceiling. You can push your hips out. But if sitting straight up is enough sensation for you, then just stay here. Close down the eyes. You can fold your hands in your lap, palms facing upward, and just let something go. Flutter the eyes open and come into a tabletop position. Going to inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, exhale. Take a few on your own breath. Inhale, right leg tiger. Come through fire hydrant. Bring your knee to your forehead. Inhale, right leg tiger. Bring it through fire hydrant, knee to forehead. And then inhale, straighten that leg. Bring it off to the left-hand side of your mat. Look over your left shoulder. Stretch that right IT band out. And then bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Play around here, backward and forward. Half splits into lizard. Following your breath. Ending in lizard. Exhale, let something go. And slowly come back into a wide leg half splits. Using a block here if it's good for you. Exploring something new. Coming up into a low lunge. Strong back leg, straight back. Straighten the right leg into pyramid pose. Back into a low lunge. Back into a child's pose. Just for a couple breaths. Great work. Inhale onto all fours. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Left leg tiger through fire hydrant, bringing the knee into the forehead. Inhale tiger. As you exhale, fire hydrant, knee to forehead, curve the back. Inhale tiger, fire hydrant. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale tiger, hydrant, forehead. Tiger, hydrant, forehead. Once more, tiger, hydrant, forehead. Left leg goes back straight. And bring the toes off to the right-hand side of the mat, glancing over the right shoulder, stretching out the left hip and left IT band, pulsing back if that feels good for you. And bring your foot up onto the outside of your left hand for a lizard pose. And we're going to do a dynamic flow. Inhale lizard, exhale half splits. Inhale lizard, exhale half splits. Follow your breath and continue. And then find some stillness in lizard pose. And when you're ready, slowly fall back into half splits, incorporating your block if that feels good for you. Just find something new here today. staying present with your breath. Inhale back up into a low lunge, tucking the back toes if it feels good for you. And go ahead and tuck the back toes, and we're coming back into a pyramid pose. Straighten both of those legs out, keeping the hips square. You can lift up the left toes if you'd like. Bringing it back into a lunge. Left foot meets the right. Come into a plank. Drop the knees, chest and chin. Low cobra. Untuck the toes. Up dog if you'd like. Meet me in downward dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Bring it down. Inhale, left leg rises. Bring it down. And baby step your feet up to your hands. Forward fold. Bring your feet out as wide as the mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Grasping your elbows here, swaying side to side if that feels good for you. Bending one knee and then the other. Shaking it out. And then let go of your elbows. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, palms on the thighs, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. We're almost to standing. And then heel to the feet back together, big toes touch. Outer parts of the feet parallel. And slowly roll up to standing with your head the last thing to come up. Roll your shoulders back and around, closing down the eyes. Feeling the opening that you've just made in the body. You can put your hands on the small of your back and breathe your chest towards the ceiling. Small back bend here. Exhale, bring it back to center. Bring your hands together in prayer at heart center. Inhale your hands up overhead, slight back bend. You can look up at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Drop down knees, chest, chin. Into an upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg rises, open up the knee. Exhale, bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand for lizard pose. And then we're coming into a side angle stretch here. From side angle stretch, inhale to reverse triangle, then into triangle pose. From triangle, we're coming into a half moon pose. You can use a block or your fingertips on the mat. Grab onto your foot for quarter moon pose if you'd like. Really opening everything up as much as you can, stretching it out. Slowly bringing that left foot back onto the mat. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Right leg rises, coming into wild thing. From wild thing into pigeon pose, bringing your right hand back to the mat, your right knee down behind your wrist. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and forward fold. Going from super active to super passive. Inhale, coming back up, tuck the left toes. Bring the right leg up, three-legged dog. Back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises, knee opens up. Bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand for lizard pose. Flattening the right foot, bring the right hand up to the ceiling for a side angle stretch. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle on the left. Right hand rises to the ceiling. Coming into half moon or quarter moon, either with a block or without. Opening up as much as you can, shining your light. And gently dropping that right foot back. Cartwheeling the hands down. Inhale, left foot up to the ceiling. Flipping it around to wild thing. Left arm straight. Overhead. Left hand comes back to the mat. Left knee falls right behind it. Pigeon pose. Inhale, look up, flat back. And exhale, forward fold whenever you're ready. Inhale, come back up. Tuck the right toes. Bring the left leg up into three-legged dog. Downward dog. And go ahead and take your flow. And meet me in downward dog. Exhale. Baby step carefully your feet up to your hands, heel toeing your feet pretty wide. We're coming down into yogi squat, malasana, hands in prayer, looking up. Straighten the legs, heel toe the feet back together, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms up overhead, slight back bend. Bring the palms down through the chest into Tadasana. Your hands can find the small of your back again if you'd like, and you can try a small back bend, puffing out your chest to the ceiling, bringing your head to the back of the room, and bring it back into Tadasana. Close down the eyes. Inhale your right knee into your chest. Let it fall back into a lunge, and you'll go ahead and open up onto the right side of your mat. Straighten out the legs. If you have a block, you can use that directly in front of you to bring the floor up to you. Go ahead and put your right palm down on the mat and breathe your left hand up to the ceiling and switch it to the other side. Twist to the right. Discovering some new spaces. And then forward fold. Both hands equally out in front of you. We'll take Skandasana to the right. And then Skandasana to the left. And back into center, forward fold. Legs straight. Great job so far. If you'd like to take an inversion here, go ahead and take a tripod headstand here or a regular headstand. Could also take crow pose. Just play a little bit here. If you're menstruating, just take child's pose. I promise you it's for the best. And slowly start to come back down. Bringing your legs back into an extremely wide-legged forward fold. Great. Go ahead and pivot to the front of your mat, bending the left knee. Bring the left foot back to meet the right in downward dog, and we will all meet in a child's pose. And now we're slowing down our practice. So meet me in tabletop pose. Inhale the right hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through. Bring the right ear to the mat. Open up the left arm to the ceiling if you'd like, or you can take a bind. Just breathe into that delicious opening. Let go of the bind. Bring the left hand in front of the face, pushing into the mat. Inhale the right arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, left hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through the right. Left ear to the mat. Right hand up to the ceiling or take a bind. Release the bind. Right hand pushes into the mat. Inhale, left arm up. Bring it back to the mat. And we're going to go ahead, come onto your butt. If you have a block, go ahead and bring it for a supported bridge pose. Otherwise, you can just go into bridge. Or you can take legs up the wall or waterfall pose here. Just start to slow it down. I'm going into supported waterfall here, which you can do if that feels good for you. You can play with pointing and flexing the feet. That helps to pump the blood as well. And then slowly bring your feet back down to the mat and remove the block if you had it. Bring your knees into your chest and roll them around in your hips. Crunch up into a little ball, and then we're going to practice our back bends. Bring your hands up by your ears. Push up into a bridge. Inhale onto the top of your head, and then inhale, push up into wheel pose or back bend, whatever you like to call it. Take 3 breaths here, keep the integrity. And then exhale, bring it all down, beginning with the shoulders and then vertebrae by vertebrae until you get to your hips. Bring your knees into your chest, and then take a twist to the left side, looking over your right shoulder. And then switch sides to your left, knees to the left, looking over the right shoulder. Bring it back to center, and we'll find Shavasana. Arms out to the side. If you have a block, you can set it between your shoulder blades, and this will help open your chest, open your shoulders. But if not, just a normal Shavasana is fine here, perfectly welcome. We'll be here for 1 minute. Take a deep inhale in, bring life back into the body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. You can stretch your arms out overhead, circling the wrists, circling the ankles, and fall over to either side into a fetal position, curling into as tight of a ball as you can make yourself. Giving thanks to yourself for showing up today and practicing. Thanks to the mat for supporting you. Thanks to Mother Earth for providing the space to practice yoga. And then push yourself back up into a seated position. Palms in the center of your chest. We'll close together with an Om. Deep inhale in. Om. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. You can flutter the eyes open. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Monday at 8 a.m. Thank you again for being here. Namaste.